Nico has figured out a way to keep his team very competitive. Now, the challenge for Baylor. Teams play zone defense. But like Syracuse back in the day, they play zone defense the whole game.
They do.
So you have to be patient, get shots.
Hard cannot connect with that one. Isaac Osama with the rebound. And you'll see this guy controlling it a lot, Langston Rogers, and clearly they run a lot of backdoor cuts, and they go late in the clock and force the defense to play all 30 seconds.
Well, here it is, a lot of dribble, drive, circle, replace. So, one, you got to get underneath your offensive opponent to keep them and make them cut in front of you. Two, you need to have pressure on the passer in order to take away those straight line passes to those cuts. And you got to talk, got to communicate early and often.
Yes, oh, boy, around the world and out. The ultimate iron unkind to open for Tunde. You talk about frustrating for a team that wants to get out and go like Baylor. This team can really take the air out of it, frustrate you. Trying to get some turnovers is also difficult because they protect the ball so well. And that one does not fall. A pretty good look by Grayson Grove. Look out. Ackman. Obi Ackman. Out of Aurora, Colorado. Metro State in Denver, where it began. They won a Division II national title that I witnessed years ago before making it over, then through Northeastern, JC, Fort Lewis, and Wyoming before making it into Waco.
Nice offense right there.
Yes, it is. A good, soft splash from Cade Tyson.
And how about this? Short-handed, rosterized, but still just a little pressure employed that falls back into a zone just to allow Baylor to feel Minnesota just a little bit, and really good defense by Reynolds right there.
By the way, when you look at Tyson come down with that rebound, does he not look like a Belmont transfer to you? Well, man, you've got to shoot it if you played at Belmont at any time.
This offense keeps you honest. I mean, it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
In particular when you're on the weak side of the ball because of the cuts, constant movement, and Durkin not able to get that shot up over Williams.
I mean, they had some huge wins in the Big Ten late in the year. That was nearly a violation, but the turnover occurred before the horn went off. Again.
Well, see, here's the thing about playing with pace. A lot of times you think of pace being up and down really quick.
Right.
But in their half-court set, you can play with pace by how fast you move, how hard you cut. And now you're able to maybe figure out how to find gaps within the zone defense by playing with a little bit better pace.
Tyson this time can't get that one to go. Here comes Cameron Carr the other way. Good pass. Yes, Safu with the extra pass and a foul. They're looking for some mojo and some more roster reconstruction going into next season in the Big 12.
Yeah, well, you think about it, last 5 games, they shot the ball at a high clip at 51%. They were scoring 81 points a game, so kind of finding, like you said, that rhythm late.
Right. Awesome. Ooh, missed the chippy. That's one that he missed. Yes, Safu giving it up to the trail man. Baylor always athletic. Dan Skillings is in the game now, the transfer from Cincinnati. He's looking to launch. That's an excellent interior pass. Good defensive awareness that time by Grayson Grove.
Hands up in the air, didn't reach down, didn't bail out the shooter. Come up with a stop.
Baylor leads it by 3. Good idea to keep a lead against these guys. Oh, nice curl. Beautiful move. Cade Tyson did a 3, now has a 2. He's got 5 of Minnesota's 7. And that extra pass is big, isn't it? Yes, Safu. They did hit the nail, look down, and find Ratai.
Yeah, but Coach Drew that time called that play to get Tunde Yesufu right there at the free throw line. So now he's an initiator, a playmaker. And that time he delivered that pass on time and on target.
Shot clock down to 4. Durkin. And the rebound taken off the deck by Obi Agnew. Oh, my! Hello. How do you drive that car, Cameron? My goodness.
Now you should ask him how he fly that plane.
By way of Tennessee. And a reach that time and a foul. They just ran out of time. Calendar was not kind to them.
Yeah, you know, it started off 10-2, then they, out of their next 9, they were 2 of 7. Yeah. What was troubling about those 2 for 7, 2 out of 7, 4 of those games were lost by double figures, one by 30, one by 22. And a straight line drive right there by Suma. So that was the part that kind of, I think, shook the ship, so to speak.
Right.
It's not that you were losing, but how you were dropping those games and then to find the rhythm on the back end of the season. It's a good thing, but you kind of wish you would have had that kind of continuity early.
Isaac Williams, the 4th, drops it through. It's 14-9, Baylor by 5. Tell you, I'm very impressed by the way Isaac Osama has come around as a point guard and his ability to move the ball, be the ignition to this offense. But, you know, the way they run things, the way Medved runs things, everybody has to handle some. You know, they all have to be able to put it on the deck.
He was 1 of 3 gophers to start all 20 of the Big Ten games. So, you know, you knew you could rely on him. He actually was 6 in minutes in the Big Ten, you know, at 34 or 35 minutes a game.
Dave Tyson with 7 of now. 11 points for Minnesota. Williams a blow by. Oh, beautiful. Used his body as a shield, going reversal at the rim.
Yeah, but Coach Medved can't be happy with that. There's no way you take a straight line drive through the heart of a zone defense and able to get to the basket.
There is a bit of a grimace over there, I see.
You saw it, right?
I did. Tyson, tough shot. And he cans it right over Skillings, who did a pretty good job on him.
No, Skillings was there, but Tyson used those broad shoulders to create that space and showing off nice touch, even though that was a little fadeaway going to his right. Should have knocked it in.
Out of Monroe, North Carolina, Cade Tyson. Williams, that was a beautiful pass.
But look at the recovery down low.
Yeah. Get out to the perimeter, won't go. Good block out by Grayson Grove again.
Think about this. Ratai had a deep post position. 3 players swarmed him, forced him to kick the ball back out for a jump shot. It's very good defensive execution.
Osama again. Little baseline blast. And it's 16-15. Carr from downtown. Didn't catch some rim. Pulled out of the air well by Tyson again. Minnesota's now 5 of their last 6. Make it 6 of 7. Durkin, the Davidson transfer.
Always has a smile on his face. I mean, he hits a shot, he does something. It is not a smile to rub something in. That's just his personality.
Yeah, he plays with joy.
He does.
7-0 run now for Minnesota. And we got a little action.
Should defender know when it's at the rim for protection.
By the way, it's not uncommon to say this in a Minnesota game. They've not subbed at all until Shinholster got on the floor. Okay. So we have had 1 sub. I was kidding with Nico. I said, I remember talking to Bobby Crimmins years ago, Coach. I said, when he had his lethal weapon 3, Dalrymple, you know, that great team that made it to the 1990. I said, you know, he only played 7 guys. And he used to say, I don't want to play more than 7 because if I have too many options, I'll screw it up. Nico sort of smiled and said, well, it has sort of dictated the way we had to play with this team. You know, not everything that you're seeing from Minnesota now is the way he ideally wants to coach this team.
Well, he'll be better defensively too, because now he doesn't have to play the zone and worry about protecting fouls. So he'll be more creative with their defense. He'll be able to create turnovers off that defense, which lead them to be able to get out and run. So a lot of that will look different when the roster is more complete. But right now, you got to kind of mend and pace. And that's an example of
a backdoor wedgie.
A backdoor wedgie. Now that didn't sound good.
I'm taking Iron Eagle's call to an all-new low.
Yeah, no, you can have that call right there. But once again, if you're not getting pressure on the passer, when the back door is available, the pass is going to be completed.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
No, you didn't. Don't apologize to me. I'm fine.
Pull out your basketball glossaries, folks. Follow along.
Yeah.
Beautiful ball fake. Awesome. I can't get it to go. Shin holster, though. That was a beautiful ball fake, which helped create that open shot. Gophers up by 2. It's easier to control the game's tempo when you got a lead. There's an explosion to the basket by Tunde Yesufu.
Yeah, he can do that. I mean, one of the most athletic players we have in the country. Former McDonald's All-American, top freshman.
He'll have some decisions to make.
So he will. I mean, it's more than likely that he will play Yesufu with the block.
Yeah. Durkin. On the wing, Osama. Tap out. Chin holster could not grab it with both hands, and it's pulled away by Ekman. Boy, they get to the nail and Yesufu really well, don't they? Too strong that time. Knocked away, last touch by Tyson. It'll be Baylor ball underneath their own hoop. Langston Rogers check back in for Osama. Did I say Langston Rogers? I meant Langston Reynolds. Langston Rogers is a wonderful SID emeritus at Ole Miss. I just gave him a shout out. There you go. Yesufu, not there.
Too easy, but Tyson. K. Tyson able to recover.
Reynolds off the dribble handoff. I tell you, Baylor was well schooled on what to expect from this Minnesota team. They're going to get Grove that shot. It goes crying off the front iron.
You know, like I said, the key is on the switches to be underneath your man, so he has to cut through you and not in front of you.
Beautiful interior pass again by Williams, the 4th. And the big fella, Caden Powell, knew what to do with it. Ton of potential of number 44. He's really a trump card player for them. And we got a walk.
Be penetrated.
Minnesota is a school. It's where he went to college. He was a team manager, as I mentioned a moment ago. Finally get this, his dream job at age 52. It's a long and winding road. One that we'll document a little bit further for you as the evening progresses, but just a magnificent story. Inside, Williams, a turnaround, can't get it to go. Tapped out beautifully by Caden Powell, and a recycle. Ekman finds Yesufu. Everything starts when he gets it right there. Trapped. Good find. Wide open as Carr. Drives in and gets it to go.
Well, not settling. That time, Yesufu, a little off balance, but still attracted that double team in the zone. That skip pass will always compromise the defense. Carr wisely drove that closeout with reckless abandon.
Yep, offensive foul. Minnesota got 18 points in the first 9, but they have 0 in the last 3+ minutes.
All right, here, straight up and straight down. Who's that? I think that might have been Grayson. No, yeah, Grove that went up, but Carr showing that extreme athletic ability. Slim frame, but still able to finish through that contact.
Yep.
So, you know, funny, yeah, how small the world is. So Cameron Carr's father, Chris, who played for Minnesota Timberwolves.
I remember him at Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Well, we had the same agent, right. Terminated. So I got to know Chris really well during his time in the NBA. So once again, showing how old I am, covering his son.
Well, just to give you an update on the coaches that came later at Southern Illinois with the Salukis, and they got a rich tradition. We're talking Weber, we're talking Painter. I mean, how their careers got going, as you see Yesufu with a nice turnaround J to make it 24-18. 8-0 run now for the Bears. Mike Glynn, the Stinger, was also a Southern Illinois Saluki, a former partner on Atlanta Hawks games back in the 90s when you were with the Mavs. Well,
they already had my slot waiting for postseason.
That's right. I believe you began it. Then we waited for George Karl to get knocked out. 24-19. Maintaining contact and again finding a way to slow the pace of play down. Keep those numbers, you know, in the 30s or so in the first half. They don't want this game to get up in the 80s or 90s.
And despite Minnesota just turning it over 3 times, Baylor's done an excellent job of turning those 3 turnovers.
My goodness.
Into points. And speaking of 3,
Obi Agman.
Agman right there, just he wanted a little contact foul on that as well.
Yeah.
So I want to be a little greedy and get a 4-point opportunity.
Now an 11-1 run for the Bears. Shot clock down to 7. Reynolds really got a good pick. Chose to give it up, though, and Grove missed the chippy. They missed a couple of bunnies inside.
Yeah, but Reynolds, because he doesn't really shoot the 3 well, 26%, you go underneath the screen. There was an excellent seal and pass inside. Grove just not able to finish it. Those kind of passes just, you want to stymie a run and make those shots.
Yesufu will do it himself. This time it rolls off, and it's pulled down by Kate Tyson. You're thinking that Durkin or Tyson need to get loose for a 3-ball.
Yeah, I think
these little bunnies and in-between shots are not falling for them.
I think Baylor Bears, they've done a better job of not allowing those cuts, those straight-line drives coming out of the timeout when Coach Drew talked about it and emphasized it a lot more.
Yep, told Allison that. Cameron Carr can't get that one to go now. In transition, trying to get a quick one. And is this going to be... Oh, they call it. 27-20 our score with 4 and change remaining in game number 2 of the quarterfinal round of the 2nd annual Crown here in Las Vegas. Tim Brando, Jim Jackson, Allison Williams with you. Happy to have you with us. Well, I tell you, from deep, Ackman's feeling it. So is this guy. The tie. He's really had a coming out party, and he's helped Baylor tremendously on this end of the floor. Boy, oh boy, you talk about the iron unkind to Carr. That was halfway down and out.
Well, the first 8.5 minutes, Minnesota had 8 points in the paint.
That's right.
The last 8.5 minutes, it's 0.
Shut it down.
So the attention to detail, talking, communicating early. Right, even that time, Kate this half, and let's see if Minnesota can be a little bit more effective and active in the zone. There it is, hands.
Yeah, big time. Tyson almost took it away. They kind of hedged on Yesufu there. He still makes a beautiful spin move. Can't finish, trying to use the glass. Pulled out of there by Shinholster. Well, Grove got the seal, and he got the hoop.
Yeah, beautiful. That switch, he kept Carr on his back. Patience, deep post position, quick move to the basket. Enabled that 2-point basket inside for Grove.
That ended in an 8-minute, 11-second drought for the Golden Gophers. Pretty good when you think about it to go cold that long and still only be down 5.
Yeah, 2-possession game.
Tie. And the rebound collected by Tyson. Tyson's got 11, the rest of the team 13. That one's too long for Durkin. And the rebound to Ackman. Well, it does help when you've got guards that can rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, other than him, you'd have to say that guy was as good a newcomer as you could find in the Big Ten Conference. Look at that athleticism on display, but unable to convert today. Yesabu.
Minnesota's doing a really good job of converging. They don't have shot blockers, but what they do is put a lot of bodies around the shooter when they get closer to the basket. Speaking of which,
strong move by Tyson. He blew right by Skillings. 29, 26, 13. He's got half their points. 13 of the 26. Minnesota's got quick hands. That ball gets to Yesafu, and they're waving those arms around, looking for deflections. Carr. Bounced around, and the putback by Skillings. And Skillings, we mentioned, the Blackwood, New Jersey, Cincinnati transfer. Second chance points belong to Baylor. That's not a surprise. 6-0 so far. Shinholster. And Minnesota unable to get that one to go, so this is a big defensive sequence for them to hold this game at 5 at halftime. Ackman. And then that will do it. That was a good. Love to see that, because that young man is going to mean a lot if they are to move forward in this tournament. Going to be inbounded here by Williams. Oh, they went to sleep on that one.
Well, Yesafu used that upper body strength and basically just threw Grayson Grove out the way.
He did.
That's how he got that open.
Baylor with 13 field goals, just 1 turnover.
And no turnover in the last 10.5 minutes. Now, this is not a Minnesota team because of the zone. That's going to force a lot of turnovers, okay? So you're not getting anything really off of your defense if you're the Gophers.
Very important that the team behind hang around and stay within shouting distance against this Baylor offense that can be explosive.
Well, yeah, and even more so because you're playing zone defense. And again, you're not in the man-to-man unless you tend to go to it to try to see if you can force some of those miscues by Baylor. Like right there, almost.
Ball was deflected off of Minnesota, so Baylor will keep it down here. Swinging around the perimeter. And on the wing, Yesafu. A little too long, and it's taken down by Durkin.
That's not his sweet spot from behind the three-point.
Wow, what a swat away that was by Powell. Yesafu on the other end.
Yeah, the block shot basically turned into an outlet pass for Baylor to initiate the break.
Yesafu has 10. Nico's a little upset. He thought maybe some contact on this end could have led to a foul to stop play, and it did not occur. Here's Reynolds trying to post up, and he turns it over. Oh, big time. Yes, a foul. And a timeout, Minnesota. Here in the month of March, they play at Arizona, coming downhill, right?
That's right.
It's just like a freight train. 6-0 to open for Baylor, and it's all Yesufu's production.
Yeah, but when and where you turn that basketball over really compromises your transition defense, and you saw it on that play by Minnesota.
Minnesota really needs a bucket here to stem the tide.
Reynolds is hesitant right there to shoot that shot.
And Ratai, by the way, has come off the bench and been productive, but it was Williams that was the extra player they really needed on offense to open games. Yesufu looking to find something along the interior, but no one was there. Akman. Yesufu with 4 on the clock. And Durkin with a rebound. That was a good defensive sequence for Minnesota. Durkin off the front iron, run down by Tyson.
Good contest that time by Cameron Carr. He just barely missed getting a piece of that. Those long arms and that wingspan really did affect Cade Tyson on that shot.
They need Grove and Tyson and Durkin to warm up, Minnesota, to help Reynolds out and Osama as well. Oh, another 3-ball as he's falling towards his bench. Obi Akman.
Oh, man.
Dribbling it off his foot. Everything going wrong. Numbers for Yesufu. A little solo act.
So it's interesting as he dribbled down, and usually they'll stop play and call that a kickball.
Yeah.
Even if it's unintentional. But that one I think was just a clean off his foot.
Yeah.
Again, ignited the break.
Yeah. Nico Medved was talking to Tim Clockerty about it too. That is at the discretion of the official, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Durkin, 2 field goals in the last 15 minutes, Jim, for Minnesota.
Well,
going back to the end of the first half.
Well, a lot of them been jump shots, and highly contested jump shots. So those early cuts and back doors and straight line drives that we talked about Minnesota, they were able to get early. And basically, Baylor has shut that water valve off.
Favorite Baylor basketball moment, whether it was as a student or now here more recently?
Oh my gosh, I would say that national championship was way up the food chain. We were there in Indianapolis. Now it was during the COVID era, so it was literally like a stadium that looked about like this. I mean, super sparse, yeah. And so, I mean, but when the confetti fell and Coach was there lifting up the national championship, I mean, it was quite a moment for sure.
How have you enjoyed your trip here to the Crown and to Vegas?
So fun, so fun. A year or so back, we were in the Bahamas in a similar kind of tournament like this, and that was so fun because it almost felt like a high school gymnasium. And then here we are in Las Vegas having a blast. So
I love that you're always right there supporting your Bears. Thank you so much for the time.
Bears, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Tim.
All right, Allison, thank you. And tell
Be really focused. So we had practice training camp in Waco at the University of Baylor. How about that?
wow.
And you know how focused we were? We won 13 games that year.
So much for the captain. So much for the captain.
Yeah, so much for that.
I spent some time on the road with Quinn in my day too. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear him saying it right now. I can. It's a marvelous town, though, and he's right about the job that Scott has done. And look at Akman again. He and Carr now, and Yesufu. Everybody is getting in on the party now.
Well, but again, it's the ball movement is not sticky, so Akman is able to find those little gaps, and before the defense can rotate over to him, he's already up in the shot. Speaking of which, Durkin finally gets a clean look right there.
He needed that a little early, but here's the good news if you're Minnesota. A lot of time left. The bad news, they really can't pressure and get easy opportunities to cut in to this lead.
That's the thing, because they don't score fast enough to really knock 10 points off in a minute and a half, a 2-minute spurt. But and what happens is this zone defense eats into the time as well, which is their enemy. But a good stop right there for the Gophers.
That Durkin field goal was his first.
Is on the perimeter.
Michael Ratai has come back into the game, relieving Caden Powell. Durkin again. Oh, Carr. Live ball turnovers. Starts with a block and then going the other way.
And that's, remember, he almost had the shot in the corner. I don't know if it was Durkin or it was Tyson that Carr almost got his fingertips on. That time timed it up perfectly.
They are just not allowing those backdoor cuts. They aren't. They are there defensively. Solid. Reynolds, tough shot. Nice move. Got it past Ratai, and it's 50-32.
And was able to turn the corner that time, keep the defender on his back. A rare pink point.
Yeah, they've gotten very little in the interior of that Baylor defense.
Yeah, that's 14 points, though. Again, a lot of that was those early touches inside by Minnesota. Good defense.
Tyson collects the rebound.
He's been on the radar. I think it's, again, one of those decisions he and his family have to make.
Those guarantees and the money that you get, the slots that you've come in the first round are important. And this is a young man that really has enjoyed the college experience. He's taken a lot of his NIL money. And Dick's Sporting Goods was able to supply a lot of Christmas gifts for some underprivileged kids in the Waco area. And Cameron made that happen. You know, we hear so often about, you know, the NIL and the portal and how it may have jaded the game and all. There's so much good that's been done by some of these athletes that have been the recipients of the times that they're playing in, receiving money for playing this game that we love so much. And you don't ever hear those stories the way we hear the other stories. There's the dump down to Yesufu.
Tunde that time able to clear some space, be patient enough to get that shot up.
Minnesota's only got 7 points, Jim. Yesufu has 11 in this half. He ignited all of this. Counted and a foul.
And that's big.
Future job. 1 year, think about this, you're coaching at the NAIA level at D3 or D2. Your women's coach gets sick or leaves the job. You coach both teams.
Right,
at
that level.
You're driving the bus and you're coaching both teams. Think about that.
No, that's bananas.
But that happens, and those guys that know where the basketballs are and have the key to the closet and the school bus that they're driving in, they have to earn their stripes, and Nico Medved comes from that territory. Mass substitution, some of the young guys getting in, and how about that? A bucket for Maximus Jizzy.
Are you entertained?
Hello. How do you do? I love that.
Other side there. It's my birthday. Cut through, Will.
67-48. First game was at Bend. Went to overtime. Oklahoma outlasted a game opponent in Colorado. And then in this one, early signs were it could be close, but Minnesota just could not make enough perimeter shots to hang with Baylor.
Baylor did a nice job of shutting the water off those early drives.
No doubt. He's feeling it. Give him the ball. It's going up.
No need to be shy now.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely. Yeah, I got in the scoring column in the postseason at Minnesota. I want to thank Fran Morrison, Brian Lilly, our crew back, everyone in Los Angeles. Sarge, Mike Hill did a marvelous job. They'll be back again with us tomorrow. LaFonso Ellis and Casey Jacobson. As you see the two coaches shake hands, and congratulations to Baylor as they march on. And the semifinal will be coming